lead teacher for their Lucknow branch, where it was my responsibility to overview the education of various different students of various different levels. Um, that involved like overseeing the education from other teachers and also designing a new English curriculum that was differentiated in a way that uh, able to be implemented for students of different levels, because no two students are the same. So therefore, you have to make sure that everyone is accommodated for. Um, as for my teaching style with Taviet, as I was the one who designed the curriculum, I had a lot more freedom with how I actually taught it and used the curriculum that I had made. So I went for a much more kind of explorative, learning through questioning, learning through play kind of approach to my teaching, allowing students to come to their own conclusions and to reach the answers themselves in a way that deepens their learning and develops their understanding in a um, much more like powerful way. And so I taught there for a year, and now I'm currently based in Hanoi.
So now you're working in Hanoi?
Currently job searching. I still do some work
Oh,
online,
uh,
but yeah, just searching for a job right now.
oh, do you know that we are located in Haifang City?
Yes, I do.
Mm. So what is your current employer?
My current employer,
Mm.
I don't currently have an employer.
Oh, so I heard that you have some working experience.
Yes,
So what is your most recent employer?
Taviet in Bakzang province.
TBS?
Taviet. It was a English center and school.
Oh, TBS. Right. TBS. TBS are okay. So I need the time to translate for other members of the interview. It will take a while. Thank
Okay.
you. Thầy này là về đến Việt Nam từ năm 2020. Vậy thì là mới được có chỉ tắt tiếng thôi nhé. Mới được có một năm làm ở cái trung tâm. Okay, I'm
Okay.
back. I'm back. All right. So, what is your daily work when you work in TVS? What is your daily, daily work in the classroom? Can you
Uh,
tell me their job description when you work there?
yeah, so I was the lead teacher. So in the classroom, I managed classes, same as the other teachers. I taught several like preschool, kindergarten groups, one intermediate secondary school group, and one intermediate primary school group. So I had quite a range. And then I also had a lot of work outside of the classroom as well, being as I was the one to implement the new curriculum for them, and oversee marking of student progress. But an average day would be, so during the daytime, we would go out to schools in Lucknow district and work in the schools during the day. And then in the evening, coming back to the center to teach center classes.
All right. So, okay. So, can you share with us here more about how you deliver your lessons for 2 hours?
Okay. So the way I would deliver a lesson is very dependent on the students I'm teaching. For a kindergarten base, that is often exploration through play, much more fun, game-based lessons, allowing the students the freedom to explore in their English, directed but on their own, freedom within limits per se. And yeah, so through that method, we like using music, using games, um, lots of interactive activities to encourage the students to develop their English better, and encouraging students to use English outside of the classroom, what English they know. Even if it's something as little as like seeing an animal they know the English word for and just pointing at it and saying the name outside of the classroom is really helpful to getting that fundamental basis for kindergarten students.
So, how do you divide your lessons? I mean, how many parts of the lesson do you usually divide?
So it would depend on what subject area would be covered, but there would typically be a introduction part of the lesson, then introductory starting games to get everyone settled. Um, After which, if it was a center lesson, which tends to be more direct, we would go into the like vocab and learning activities. Um, then using some productive learning games that reinforce learning. Um, then what is typically known as a production activity, which is students trying to learn the English that they've like trying to utilize the English that they've just learned. Sorry, and then going into like some more games or some more activities just to finish up the lesson.
So, um, before starting the lesson, what do you usually do?
Uh, as in prep for the lesson. So yeah, so lesson prep for a kindergarten class would be making sure the environment and the area is clean, tidy, well cared for, to accept the students, and then also making sure I have activities ready and prepped, and that I know the activities well, and that my teaching assistant knows the activities well, so that we can effectively teach. And if any changes need to happen during the classroom hours for whatever reason, we can very quickly move on to a different activity or something else, and then everyone knows what's going on, what's happening, fusion between the teacher or the TA.
So, how do you make the children curious or interested in the topic you are going to deliver?
Um, that's a very good question. So often ways that I try to encourage students to be explorative or interested in the subject is, I mean, naturally choosing a subject that students are interested in helps, um, but that's not always the case. You don't always have a subject area that students immediately connect to, in which case it's all about the way you present it, the way you present the subject area, and the way you introduce students to it step by step, in a way that they can connect with and a way that they can engage with. Hello?
Okay, if you're employed in our school at Sakura Montessori, you wanted to cover two classes, one in the
Okay.
morning and one in the afternoon, and they are all kindergarten. They are very young, just 1 years old to around 1 years old to 5 years old, and there are 25 to 30 students in the classroom. And they are very young, so their attention, yeah, is not very long.
Yeah.
Mm. And you will cover every teacher will cover two classes, one in the morning and one in the afternoon, and 2 hours for a class every day. And you wanted to work from Monday to Friday, 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the afternoon, because I also sent you the job descriptions so that you can see what you are expected to do. And I just want to repeat it, about the how many classes you have to cover and how many students per class and how many hours per day you will work. So I can say that 4 hours per day, two in the morning and two in the afternoon, two classes, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. So the duration is quite long, 2 hours for the kindergarten. So you have
Yeah.
to, yeah, you have to think about how to draw the attentions and how to lengthen their attentions. But this, although they are interested in the activities you designed for them, and yeah, is what I would like to say about the job in the time to come when you arrive here. So are you ready to relocate to Haiphong City?
Yes.
If if I could say that we need your service, we need you to work on 15th of July. Is it possible?
15th of July. Um, that turnaround might be a little bit quick for me. It's possible though.
If you relocate here in Haiphong, where will you live?
I don't know. I've never been to Haifang before.
So, never been here. So it could be a very big obstacle for you to relocate, right?
Um, no, not particularly. I could, yeah, I'm quite familiar with moving from place to place. Before I came to Vietnam, I was moving quite frequently. So yeah, moving in a hurry isn't any big obstacle for me. I'm quite adaptable.
Uh-huh. So, if I understand correctly, you can relocate here in Haiphong City and attend a report to work on the 15th of July.
Uh, I could do, yeah.
How many percent for sure?
For the 15th, um, I would say probably 75%.
75.
If it was a little bit later, say the 20th or the 25th, I could say 100%.
Okay, 28, 25th. All right. One more thing I would like to let you know before in this interview is that in the classroom we don't have a TA for you, no English
Okay.
TA for you, because uh, we only have ESL teacher and they have to cover and they have to handle with the children. And in the classroom we also have the other three Vietnamese teacher, but they cannot speak English very well to support you much in the classroom. Most of the time, you have to manage the class yourself, and sometimes they will have you to manage. But I am pretty sure that they are not really helpful because they cannot speak English well. So sometimes you will have a miscommunication during your working here in school at our school, miscommunication. Or sometimes you can feel the frustration when in miscommunication, right? Anyway, it's a fact you have to face with if you work here.
That's completely fine. I encountered that plenty in Baksang, working with Saviet. Yeah, I'm quite good at getting around miscommunication and making sure aims are clear. But I've also worked without a TA before, so that's nothing new to me.
All right. Yeah, so now we are ready for your questions if you have.
Yes, my first question I'd like to start with is I don't believe I received the job description you sent.
Uh-huh. Okay, so I'm gonna
Uh,
to send you.
so if you could send me that again, that would be wonderful. Because I imagine that would answer a lot of the questions I currently have. Because well, I don't know how the position differs from the Hanoi one. So how does the position at Sakura Montessori Haifang differ from Sakura Montessori in Hanoi?
Actually, we are the same.
Completely the
We are
same.
totally the same because we are the same system, Montessori classroom, and we operate in the same way. No different. Sometimes some different in how they arrange the activities, but um, it's quite similar. No big difference.
Okay, wonderful. And that leads on to my next question is um, mm, how would Sakura Montessori Haifang best want me to incorporate ESL teaching into the Montessori method?
Actually, Montessori, we have Montessori teacher already, and we are we are hiring ESL teacher only, and you just care about your ESL work. You don't have um, to worry about Montessori field because Montessori is a separate activities in the morning with the Montessori teacher. And about the ESL, you only focus on your delivering ESL lesson for the children only, as the way
Oh,
you usually do. So you don't have to worry about Montessori. You just have to follow some Montessori rules in the classroom only, like some certain classroom rules, and we're going to train for you about the classroom rule on the onboard training day. So
okay.
around 10 or 15 rules in the classroom so that you can know how to cooperate with Vietnamese teacher in the classroom. Yeah, about the rules.
Okay,
We need
wonderful.
to, yeah, we need all the teachers to behave in the same way with the children
Yes.
so that they will not be confused.
Yeah, I've done some extensive research on the Montessori method because I came across it while I was doing my education degree and was immediately very, very interested in it. So I know quite a lot about the philosophy and the learning conditioning that takes place in Montessori.
So it would be great if you can integrate your knowledge about Montessori with your ESL lesson. It would be great.
Wonderful.
But
All
if
right.
you are not really ready, or if you have no idea of Montessori, is okay because we are in need of ESL teacher.
Mhm. Yeah, I can do
So
that.
I would like to emphasize once more time that you just focus on
ESL
ESL
teaching.
session. And
100%.
okay.
Thank you. Um, okay, so I have a few more questions here. Since I didn't get the job description, but here we go. Um, Okay, so how many students does Sakura Montessori Haifang cater to?
Excuse me?
How many students are there in total with Sakura Montessori Haifang?
In total, around 200.
Okay, and what would be the average like work term for the contract?
Uh, 1 year.
1 year from the starting time?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, 1 year from start.